Hi, everyone. We will now cover a variety of different topics that are important for you to be thinking about as you prepare to study abroad. It is essential to do some planning around money management before you go abroad. This is something you will do independently as each student has very different spending habits. We have prepared a budgeting worksheet tool that you can use, which is located in the form section of the Study Abroad portal. Each host country has a different cost of living, and you can do some research to find more information about this online. Regarding using your debit or credit cards abroad, make sure to find out what your bank's travel policies are. Figure out how to notify your bank that you will be abroad, such as through the app or by calling, since you will need to do this to avoid having your cards frozen due to fraud detection measures. Go to a bank before pre-departure to get some cash in the local currency of your host country. That way, you have no problem paying for transportation or food upon arrival if you have any unexpected issues with your bank or cards, or if you are in a place that doesn't accept cards as well. Many students will take out cash periodically from ATMs while abroad. So figure out what international ATM fees your bank charges and how to minimize the fees that you will be paying while abroad. For example, students may take out a larger amount of cash less frequently while abroad and keep cash in a safe place in their room. ATMs are widely available in large cities, and cards are often accepted in larger cities, but cash may be necessary in smaller towns. Think about how you want to communicate with your friends and family back home while you are away. Figure out what the balance will be of feeling connected to home, but also staying present and taking time to truly get to know your host community while you are there. Some of you may already know that a lot of people in other parts of the world use WhatsApp to communicate more than texting. So it is a good idea to make an account. Students are expected to have cell phone access while abroad for safety and emergency purposes. It is important to factor this into your budgeting and figure out which type of phone coverage you want to seek. Many students choose to get a SIM card at a local phone provider once you are in the host country. This requires a bit of research, but it is a great option. Students choosing this option will go to a store such as Vodafone, Orange, or other stores. A quick Google search can tell you a common phone provider in your host country. Students often get a month-to-month prepaid plan, which involves paying a flat monthly fee, roughly the equivalent of around 15 to 25 US dollars a month, which is pretty common. This gets you a local phone number, calling, and data as well. The phone company would provide a SIM card that you would put in your existing US phone, and then you would keep your US SIM card in a place safe and put it back in your phone when you return to the US. The SIM card will switch your phone service back to your existing US phone number and plan. Students can also choose to buy a new phone with a local provider after arriving in the host country. Students in this case would use their local phone to make calls, access data, etc., and be able to use their US phone when connected to Wi-Fi if they choose to do so as well. Figure out how you will be using your electronics abroad in terms of voltage. For most laptop and phone chargers, you will need an adapter that allows you to plug your device into the type of socket your host country uses. For some devices, you may need a converter, which changes the voltage or flow of electricity to match the voltage of your host country. It is recommended that you leave electronic hair appliances, specifically like hair dryers, at home and purchase a new one while abroad, since there are often voltage issues that will make the appliance stop working. International travel means that your CDC vaccination card is just as important as your passport in some cases. Remember to bring your CDC vaccination card and a copy scanned to your phone, such as in the Notes app if you have an iPhone. Be cautious not to overpack, since you will typically be able to find things you need while abroad if you in case forgot anything at home in the US. And it will be more challenging if you have more than one checked suitcase, one carry-on backpack, and another small item like a purse or bag that is easy to carry. Check to see what luggage weights are, what the luggage weight limits are within your airline that you will be flying to the host country with. Typically, it is about 50 pounds, the maximum limit. Make sure to have a bag or backpack for everyday use and going to and from classes that is secure. And in other words, it's not easy for pickpockets to take anything from you. You should also have a backpack or bag that is easy to carry but large enough to carry what you need for at least a few days if packed carefully. This will help you if you do have any overnight excursions or travel around your host country during your free time. Don't forget to have a reusable water bottle with you as well. Students tend to do much much more walking while abroad than they do in the US. Also bring comfortable, well-made shoes that you can walk long distances in. For summer study abroad coursework, you will register in the study abroad portal. If you are taking courses from UP faculty, you will be selecting the courses you want to take, and your program counselor will be registering you for those selected courses. If you are participating in an IES program, the registrar's office will be registering you for placeholder credits, and the actual courses you will take will be reflected on your UP transcript after your program ends. Pass and no pass is not available for study abroad courses unless pre-approved by a program counselor and communicated to the study abroad office in writing and by email or in writing by email. Few exceptions are made, and students should expect to receive letter grades. Remember to be in touch with your program counselor throughout the process, and please let us know if you have any questions about registration. To switch gears for a moment, we want to make it clear that students are required to follow UP's Code of Conduct while abroad. Make sure you are familiar with the UP Life on the Bluff handbook as this is applicable. While you are abroad, remember that you will also need to follow all program-specific guidelines and expectations. Thank you for your attention and engagement with this pre-departure process. And if you would like to know more information or have anything clarified about anything that has been mentioned so far, please let us know.